Today we're looking at you producing a composition. It's going to be linked to the work we did last lesson. Can anybody tell me what we did last lesson? Aaron?
We looked at the elements of music.
The elements of music, well done. We're going to compose a piece of music that tells a story. Now on the desk in front of you, you've got two pieces of card. There is a story on those two pieces of card. The first one is on the slightly smaller piece, and it says, "You are travelling through thick fog. You begin to bump into things. At last the fog clears and you can move freely." Okay, so that's your first story. Okay, can anybody else read me the second story on the other piece of card? Steph, please.
Wearing your ice skates, you walk clumsily to the edge of the lake. You skate like a bird.
You need to use the elements of music to be able to compose the music to go with that. We are now going to listen to a piece of music that was composed by last year's Year 7, okay? And I want you to see if you can identify which story they're playing. Then you are going to look at which elements of music they used to achieve those things. Okay, here we go. Can anybody tell me which story they were playing? Chris?
The one where they were ice skating?
Excellent. So they've thought very carefully about the instruments they've used. They used the xylophone to actually create the high notes for the bird flying up and down. And they've thought very carefully about which elements they use in order to do that. What is the point of us listening to their work and assessing which elements they've used and how well they've done? What is the point of us doing that?
To help us when we try to compose our music.
Good answer. Just move your cards to one side so that you can see the big sheet in front of you. The first thing you are going to do is be able to understand and explain the use of elements in your programmatic composition. So you are going to compose a piece using all the elements we've talked about. The other thing you're going to be able to do is assess your work. You are going to be able to recognise the standards you are aiming for, and with help from your friends, so peer assessment, you are actually going to be able to look at ways you can improve your piece next lesson. Look at the second box down. It says, to do this composition well, you will have a balanced three-section composition. Why does it need to be a balanced three-section composition?
Because then you get a piece for every sentence.
Well done. The second thing it says is music that reflects the story. And the third thing is using your instruments and the elements creatively. What do I mean when I say you can use the instruments creatively? Anybody on this table know?
Use your imagination with the instruments.
Yes, use your imagination with the instruments. A drum. Is that the only way I can play it? Well done. You can use fingers, you can use hands, you can even turn it upside down and have... It's a different sound, isn't it? When you're composing, you need to take this sheet with you to see if you are meeting all of those criteria.